This episode of Trials and Trebuchets is brought to you by Fanroll Dice. If you're in the market for some new, top-notch dice, and who am I kidding, folks? We're all always on the prowl for some shiny rocks, then look no further than fanrolldice.com. Whether it's their bewitching liquid cores, a pack of trusty misfit metals, or even a set of oh-so-endearing miniature dice, you'll find anything you're looking for and more at fanrolldice.com. And don't forget to use our code TRIALS10 at checkout for 10% off your order of new little crit machines. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 231 of Trials and Trebuchets. I'm your dungeon master, Ever Eternal, and joining me are my players, whose names are...
I guess it's true that we are now cast away. Hello, my name is Ben, and I play the level 12 gnome wizard Windsor Wallaby, along with his cutty little companion, Mr. Wiggles.
Meow!
Hello, and I'm Carla, and I love boats, and I play the level 12 Tiefling Roguelock Integrity Idleberry, who also loves boats.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 12 half-elf bard. I guess I'm just kind of confused about that arc because I didn't see Willem Dafoe anywhere.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I played the level 12 human sorceress Serenep Cinderman. Fun fact, I, Sam, am terrified of open ocean water. So this is great.
What the fuck does Willem Dafoe sound like?
I'm Willem Dafoe!
I'm something.
I'm in the lighthouse! With Robert Pattinson! I'm Willem Dafoe!
And the last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students repelled the wishing star and its transformed crew of sailors, escaping the atoll as it sank beneath the waves of the Gleam. We find ourselves set out at sea, nigh 90 minutes to the T from last we saw these pitiful students.
Ow.
In a longboat rowing out into the reaches of the Emerald Gleam. Such time has passed and such distance you have covered with Integrity Idleberry's strong throwing skills, propelling you ever forwards. The sky, as you grew far from the island, and as you saw it sink beneath the waves, the sky returned to its afternoon blues, yellow sun bright in the sky, clouds returned, the stars less brilliant and less speckled across the canvas above, but still somewhat present. It has been, as said before, 90 minutes. One Winsler Wallaby, our gnomish wizard, I believe you were in the process, as we zoom in on this small boat with 5 students trapped therein, I believe you were in the process of doing something.
I'm so tired, everybody. I feel like I just got the wind knocked out of my own sails, pardon the pun.
I thought beach vacations were supposed to be relaxing.
They usually are.
How far do you think we've actually gotten?
Integrity thinks, how far has she gotten?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes.
Probably like 3 kilometers.
Oh.
You're pretty strong.
We've it seems like we've gone some 3 kilometers. And, you know, maybe the reason why we don't feel like we've really had a vacation is because we haven't had a dip in the water. So, like, here, try this. And Integrity, like, takes a scoop of water and splashes it on her, let's say on a Winsler. Here, to wake
By
you
all
up.
means.
It's so cold.
I always imagined beach water as, like, nice and warm. What the hell?
I mean, we're not really on a
She's
beach.
like, she's like poking at Winsler.
Yeah.
I mean, not when it's this far from the shore.
While this is happening,
Yes.
the map that I stole from that little library,
Yeah.
could I be I guess while we're stuck in the middle of the ocean, trying to use that to kind of figure out where we are?
by all means, make a survival roll for me.
Hell yeah. How good am I at survival? We're going to find out in a moment.
A seldom used skill in this podcast.
90 minutes is
it
not
really
enough
is
for a
not.
short rest, is it?
90 minutes is plenty enough for a short
Oh,
rest.
okay.
A short rest is 1 hour. And
Okay.
Ben, 1 hour is 60 minutes.
Well, I will
as I'm
use my-
sure you know.
Yes, I understand how time works. I'm going to just be using my arcane recovery to get back some spell slots then.
Of course. The 90 minutes do so pass. You make jokes of, I thought the water would be nicer. We didn't even get a vacation. Integrity splashes you and boats you around in somewhat of circles, somewhat of spirals, going across the somewhat rough, gleaming sea, whitecaps flashing in the distance. Winslow Wallaby lays down his head, puts a hat over his eyes, and does take a short rest, recovering his arcane skills in the process. Sarah Cinderman examines maps in the meantime. What is the result?
I got a 15.
A 15. There is an absence of on this map you have marked from ages past. There is islands in close position, though notably unsettled, wild, deserted islands, nearer than you ever might think. If you were to put your mind to it and integrities back into things, you could probably reach one of those before the end of the day. Sarah, enough, even with a 15, you might be able to look to the horizon and see maybe 3 kilometers away further, a distant small island, unassuming and unsettled. Nonetheless, this is how you spend your 90 minutes. Winslow Wallaby, your rest comes to an end. You wake up with arcane power brimming through your tiny little veins.
Oh,
You actually look rested.
I haven't had a nap in so long. Like a proper, actual nap. I mean, we get to sleep all the time when we're at school and everything, but I've never actually taken the time to just lay in bed or anything and just sleep.
There's also something about the smell of ocean water and sleeping. And
the
are
weather's
we gonna
nice.
die here? Because
No, I know what
there's
you mean.
nowhere we're going.
I mean, according to this map, it's not exactly it would take a while to get there, but there is an island just about the east of here.
How's
you know?
Philip doing, by the way? Is he showing anything better?
You all look over your shoulders to the bow of the boat where, heaped in a mass, is a sly, breathing young man in beachy clothes. You can see his eyes are completely open, and he seems to be of his own willing accord taking raspy breaths.
I wish we had been able to bring a blanket with us.
Well, hey, I think the rasp factor has been going down like 30%. So that's something. We could probably get to the island, have a slightly less deadly rest and regroup from there. When you say a little while, are we talking like a moderate amount of work, or are we talking like a more than moderate amount of work? Because I actually am getting tired, and I don't have my arm isn't great for this. And I mean, really, Integrity, do you wanna just take over my rowing? Because you're just so good at it.
What's the name of the island that we're gonna go to?
It doesn't really.
Sarah, if you look down at a map and see a blank space before you.
Yeah, it doesn't really have it's about 3 kilometers. I'm happy to start
We should name
rowing.
it.
Yeah.
What about Peaceful Slumber?
Ooh.
Um,
Peaceful Slumber Island.
does anyone have a pen?
You can easily fetch a quill from your own robes and mark it quickly in a neat script. Integrity Eye Idleberry, given rowing powers over this seafaring, in quotes, vessel. Make an athletics check for me as you are pointed in the direction by the skipper at hand and the
What
passengers.
kind of rowing is this? Is this rowing rowing, or is this canoe rowing?
This is this is as if you were in, oh goodness, not sweeping. This is a similar position. If you've ever been on a rowboat, you sit on a hard
Ooh!
plank and row with 2 hands.
That's a 25.
A 25? A 25?
25.
19 plus 6.
Mira,
Damn.
you lean back and relax your arm wearing against your shoulder where it rests. Winsler, you sit between two benches. Serenep, you examine this nautical map, these sea charts, and make your own annotations to them. And Integrity rows your guys' asses all the way to this uncharted island, which I did not write down the name of.
Thank
What
you,
was it?
Integrity.
What was it called? Peaceful Rest?
Peaceful slumber.
Peaceful slumber.
Peaceful Slumber Isle.
Thank you so much to Mira. Thank you, Mira. I think like my arm feels a lot stronger. Here, feel it. The muscle seems very rigid.
Okay, Flex. Holy shit!
I know, right?
The boat,
That's crazy.
the boat pulls like up against this long island. If I was to describe it from an aerial perspective, of which none of you might know, I would describe it to be similar to the letter U. A bit funky though. Maybe.
Oh, so
bowl-shaped,
it's
who's to
almost
say?
like it's like a forming atoll, or maybe it's like half.
Partially
Our part of it was sunken.
Yes. Nonetheless, you beach along in this sandy white beaches. The forest's sparse here, but enough to maybe get out of the sun after spending probably at this point close to 4 hours. The sun seems to threaten setting on the distant horizon. And the moment the boat hits against the sand and you beach it, you can kind of jump out into the surf. You see from the bow that wretched pale man pull himself forward onto the sand. You hear him flop over the side and gurgle and try to begin pulling himself up onto the island. You see Philip not exactly running away, but seemingly acting with agility unbecoming of someone who's been lying around in his sorry state for the past couple of hours.
Whoa! Hold
Philip,
on
where
there.
you going?
Are you all right?
Winslow, would you like to run up and stop him?
I'm gonna try and run up and stop him.
You run up, put a hand on his shoulder, and kind of go, whoa.
His
You can-
shoulder.
On his shoulder.
He's like on hands and knees, pulling himself up the beach. Okay,
grab his like coat or something.
You grab at his ankle, the highest reach that you can muster.
What was this?
I'm not making you make a check. I was just describing
Oh,
things.
I thought you were asking me to do
you
something
look
as
into
if
it,
like, are you
Winslow,
strong
you-
enough to keep him from running away?
No. You stop his path and you look into his eyes, and one of them, Winsler, is notably sparkly and shiny, like as if there's candlelight reflected in it from myriad sources, and the other is like a very flat yellow. And that right eye, which is just a flat yellow, he's kind of squinting it at you as if he has maybe lemon juice sprayed in his eye, and he's muttering under his breath, we're near land. He's just kind of like muttering.
Is he okay?
I don't think he's doing so well. He's kind of muttering. We might need to keep him watch on him.
Okay.
It's okay,
Sarah,
Philip.
do you have any-
We're gonna help you. We're here to help.
Oh, I don't need anyone else's help. I don't.
We need to get him sitting down. We need to
Yeah.
let's get him out of the sun. Bring him over to shade.
You can pull him or let him crawl like a toddler over to the relaxing shade of a nearby tree, prop his back up against, and all gather around looking at him.
Mira will put her like student robe over him so he has like some sort of
By all means.
comfort.
Mira,
Oh, I was just like going to help out a little bit.
Yes, by how?
Like, are there coconut trees here or?
Oh, we're
fruit
gonna feed him a
trees?
coconut.
By all means, there's one solitary coconut tree, plump,
Integ-
round coconuts hang
Integrity-
from it and dot the ground.
Wait, I have a contribution to this. And Integrity like goes up to the coconut tree, climbs up, grabs like a coconut, smashes it onto the tree, not her head, and then like rips a hole using the tip of
Horns,
her
of
horn.
course.
Here,
The natural
Damn.
use for tiefling horns.
it's like
Oh my
it's the tiefling equivalent of like taking like an empty can and just smashing against your
Crashing
forehead.
against your forehead. Yeah.
here's some refreshment as well, Philip, because you don't want to be drinking salt water because then you'll be more dehydrated.
He does take it from your hands and takes a very thirsty sip from the coconut. Mira and Serenop, I believe there was an aside the two of you are about to have.
Mira,
Yeah.
when we were back on the island, I don't know what exactly you did, but it sort of cut off whatever weird haze I was put into from the light. I know it's going to be a lot more with Philip, but I was wondering if you like, it doesn't have to be right now, like if you need to rest, but
No, it was just a simple like dispelling magic. I don't know if something so simple would work on something as complicated as this, but I can definitely give it a shot. I think I have enough juice in me for like one more go of it. And I think that Mira is going to kind of like sit down next to where Philip is and be like, hey, you want to hear a nice song? Like, just focus on the music, listen to it, and, through playing a calming tune that should hopefully, like, wrap its way around and try to shoot out all the bad, Mira's going to attempt to cast Dispel Magic
By all
on Philip.
means. Could you make for me just a flat charisma check in that case, as you
Charisma
attempt to
check,
dispel
yes.
magics?
Absolutely. I say. Hang on. My D20. Because I had to bring it with me to Calgary.
Oh, the case of the missing D20.
I don't know why I thought for a very brief moment that was one of the dice that they had knocked across the room, and I was like, and like they just haven't gotten it back yet.
All right. Charisma?
Charisma.
That is a 16 plus 5. That is a 21.
No trouble whatsoever, Mir Marchand. You weave this song and reach out 2 little fingers and pluck a red string from around his head. It appears from the air, and you unwind it like wrapping around a cord and dispel it, throw it away. You see, as you do so, his mouth opens in almost the expression of someone who has just seen something horribly shocking, as if their hair was to turn gray. But you also see his left eye begin to flatten out, as it were. That shimmery, sparkly appearance to it fades away as you pluck that string and dispel whatever foul magics the island was affecting him to do. He holds in his hands half a husk of a coconut, the meat exposed and the water drank, and he'll look at you, Mira, who is closest to him right now, and he just has this expression of shock, and he'll say, Mira, and he'll look, where are we? We were on the island.
We're safe. We fixed it. She's right there. I know that this isn't exactly a very big island, but do you want us to give you two, like, a little bit of space?
He ignores your statement, Mira, and will quickly stand up and almost lunge towards you, Sarah, grabbing you by, like, the shoulders, and he'll say, "Are you okay? Did the doctor do anything to you? You were in the lighthouse last I had a moment of clarity. Are you all?" And he stares into your eyes.
I'm fine. There was a moment, but Mira took care of me. She took care of you too. Are you feeling better? Are you doing okay?
He looks to you, Mira. It's still this amazed, shocked expression. He goes, I feel great. Yes. Like my mind was let go of something clenching it. Mira, thank you.
Hey, don't even mention it.
I don't mean to interject or anything, this happy reunion and everything, but what exactly happened?
They took me the day that I tried to duel the prince. I tried to find my mother, and I was grabbed by guards, thrown in a ship, brought to that island, and the rest is a haze. The rest is a bit of a haze. But I remember pieces of it. The doctor, Rhaegar. I sailed with Rhaegar for some time. We were looking for my father, mostly, and we didn't find him. We didn't find any trace of him. And then I met with the king. He sent me to get you, said that an arrangement had been made and you'd be handed over easily. And he said that if I brought you, he would let us live. And he looks at you very hesitantly, Serenap, letting go of your shoulders and kind of taking a step away from all of you.
I know whatever was happening there, that wasn't you. I was told how much it was that they put you through on that island. I hope you don't think I think any different there. I'm just happy that you're okay. I'm happy that we can just...
We could get away.
We really can get away.
I'm not talking about some chance in the future. I'm talking about right now, Serenap.
Get away. We're in the middle of the ocean.
Like my father, we could just disappear out into the islands. We could leave everything behind, everyone behind right now, and run. No one would be able to find us. Trust me, I looked for my father with one of the most skilled bounty hunters that we could find, and we found nothing of him. We could disappear without a trace just like that. Become new people, start new lives. Here, there's thousands of islands here. They couldn't search them all for us.
I can't leave. I can't. There's things I still have to do. But yes, I can meet you somewhere, but I still have to. There's still a lot I have to do before I can finally stop.
He sighs, and his shoulders do slump a little. He'll take a step away and kind of just look up at the four of you and let out a shaky breath, and he'll say, maybe, yeah. But he looks to you in the eye, Serenith, and he says, I'm leaving now. This is my chance, and I need to take it. I think you're making a mistake, not running.
I've thought that a lot of times, and I will never stand in the way of you getting out of all of this. And I promise once everything is done, I'll try to come. I'll come find you. I will find you again. Then we can finally just live our lives.
Maybe. He'll look to you, Integrity Idleberry, and say, do you mind if I take the boat? I don't know if you'll be needing it. I don't know if you intend to sail back or row back to the mainland.
I look around to my friends. I don't think that we plan on rowing back. Is that right?
I think now that I've had a little bit of a rest, I think we can get back pretty easily.
Yeah, Philip, we're all a bunch of mages. You're good.
I hand, because Philip wants to take the boat, I'm going to give him the map.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to hold on to it for a moment and just, I promise I will be safe. And I promise that we will be together again. And I give him a kiss.
You kiss him. He stands there, and you pull back from him, and he'll look to you and say, I don't know if I can believe that promise. Truth be told, Serenith, if you can find me, what good have I done hiding from anyone else? But if fates find us together again, we'll see how things turn out. He will, over the course of the next couple of minutes, begin loading up spare coconuts into the boat itself. With your guys' help, he will willingly push off, get it ready for some sort of departure. He regards the map slightly, and Serenith, you can watch from afar as he sits at this boat and seems to be plotting a course. You guys could start a fire in the meantime as the night sets in, and as the sun fully sets and the stars properly, as they ought to be, shine in the sky, a brilliant clear sky, the moon glowing on the other horizon. He will begin pushing the boat out, and once he has like a little bit of space, he will kind of turn back to the group of you, and Serenith, most importantly you can see him. You're probably 20 feet away or so, standing on the edge of the beach, looking at him, drifting away. He's seated, oars in either hand, and he'll yell out, if you ever need to find me, just lay your head down and dream of the past, Serenith. And please, he yells out further now, please remember that my love for you was true. Goodbye.
Serenith just waves.
He turns his head down and begins his laborious rowing into the night.
Do you think he's gonna be okay out there?
He doesn't use... He'll be fine. He's resourceful.
How about you?
Are you gonna be okay?
I'm happy that he's out of whatever the heck was happening with that light. I'm happy that I would never ask him to go back to Wildcliff because I think he's in as much danger as I am going back there.
No offense, but why didn't you go with him? I mean, you would have been really safe, honestly. Like, are you sure about going back?
I made a promise to Karina. Even if she hates me now, I'm going to keep that promise. Plus, And I trying to lighten the mood, like, plus, I mean, we're a team. Can't exactly have you guys running off on your own to go die at who knows what without me.
You'll find him again. I truly believe it. If people were really meant for each other, I feel like they will always find a way to get back to each other. And I give a reassuring, like, I hold my cousin's hand and, like, give it a reassuring squeeze.
I think if anything, this eases my mind. He can take care of himself. We can focus on other things now.
Probably not going to be easy by the time we get back. I have no idea what could be waiting for us there, so we'll just have to be ready to confront the danger if it's there.
Well, hey, I think we've made a pretty big point about, what happens to people who try to take Saren up.
Yeah, but I don't think we should go straight to Wildcliff, right?
Take a few days, rest up.
Definitely rest up. Yeah.
I've got an idea. We don't have to rest up on this little island eating coconuts for who knows how long. Artist isn't home. We can just use his house. And besides, that's really the only circle that I know that's close by to Wildcliff, so we don't really have any other option unless we all want to go on a vacation to the Bridgeport.
No.
But I don't know about that place.
It's what Artist would have wanted.
In a sense, he's always with us in some way, whether he's with us physically or we're in his house.
He'll always be in our hearts.
And we'll always be in his house.
So, as twilight fades to midnight, Winsler Wallaby, would you like to take this time to draw some lines in the sand with your special
using the rare
chalk?
chalks and inks that I have at my disposal, infused with the precious gems worth 50 gold pieces upon which this spell consumes? I will draw the teleportation circle matching the insignia of Artis's cottage.
A simple sigil, truthfully, done in.
What is it?
It's just a bunch of arcane runes.
So we draw a circle, and then what we do is like we draw like the basic like square, and then a triangle on top of it. That's it. So like
easy.
Artist's house.
And then you draw a stick figure with a frowny face, and that's supposed to signify that that's Artist and that's his house.
It's shaped like the house is sort of shaped in like an A almost.
Yes.
Ah.
Like raised up a little bit. There we go.
You draw this in the sand. The blue light glows from it, lighting you all up. You can kick some sand into the little fire that was started to keep you all warm. Unless you wanted to leave that and set this place on fire for whoever else is to find it. And you can all crowd around on this 10-foot diameter circle your wonderful wizard has created for you. And Winsor Wallaby, you can snap your fingers and poof, poof, the deserted island is once more deserted. Not a trace of life remains.
As far as we know.
We can spend the next few days recovering at Artist Artisan's house to remind you of promises made and timelines to keep. There's 2 days until the meeting that Karina Lindman had requested you attend.
Yes.
During this time, staying at Artist Artisan's cottage, for the most part, I presume, unless there was anyone wanted to do some quick escapades back elsewhere, most likely to campus.
There is something quick
that
we should probably do as soon as, like, in the time that we have to spend at Artist's cottage.
Of course.
Whoever wants to come with Winsler, I think just to keep things on the low. Maybe like disguised or something. I don't know.
Disguise?
Well, I guess maybe not disguise. We probably don't need to worry about that because they were looking for Saraneth, not us. So we should probably go to either the school store or maybe meet with somebody who could get us that pendant.
Like to ward off divination.
To ward off divination, yeah. Let me find the actual name for it real quick because I did post a link to that. It should have it right here.
Damn, look at these chumps with plans.
It's called, for mechanics, Amulet of Proof Against Detection and Location. And for reference, it is also an uncommon magic item, so it's probably not going to be too hard to get our hands on.
I mean, look, you need it for your class materials. You're teaching people.
An important investment by by Professor Very Periwinkle. I almost said Dr. Professor Very Periwinkle.
So in that case, is this a Winsler solo mission?
Unless anyone wants to come with.
I don't know if it's a good idea to go until I have been like I could disguise myself.
You could.
You could, but then you
But-
would also have us with you, and then
yeah,
that
that's
might
true.
draw suspicion as well.
I'm gonna like wave you off like a mom about to watch her kid go to school
wouldn't
on the
take us
first
that long.
day.
We'll be
Just
back.
like
No.
see a kid.
I mean, if I'm in your payroll, might as well go with you.
Yeah.
I'll have integrity with me.
Well, I want to make sure that the Warbler is, doing okay in my absence. I could collect a story about school prices and, just be an independent journalist happening to be around if you need backup.
That sounds like a good idea.
Because I'm on house arrest.
Well, it won't.
Don't die.
It won't take us that long. We'll be in and out. We'll be back before you know it.
Okay.
Setting up, they walk out to the woods. Rather, they walk through the front door as it glows gold, and they walk through the concourse, leaving you in a drafty, rainy house. Water drips from the ceiling. It is all together. It has no furniture remaining.
Oh yeah.
It is altogether a shack in the woods, abandoned and haunted, save for your single presence as you wait here for your friends may chance to return.
Hide in the roof if you need it.
In the
Winslow Wallaby, Integrity Idleberry, Mir Marchand, or should I say, Professor Very Periwinkle, Isold, what the fuck was her name? God,
Insidious.
I sold Insidious.
Isold Insidious, and Mira Marchand,
Mira Marchand.
arrive through the concourse. A small gnome, not even looking up, waves you through. Notable on your immediate entry, standing probably a stone's throw, a sentry, one might call them, and the body language of such things is obvious. You arrive back on your most beloved campus, and standing at the corner, the junction between a couple of different campus paths, you see a green-cloaked, green-gemmed golem
No.
who, the moment the three of you step forth from this thing, kind of chatting about what you need to do and planning to break apart into presumably two groups, it points directly at you and is going to run towards you with much haste. It is going to put a hand up, and you hear whirring from inside of it, and then you also hear a familiar sound that I believe, Mira, you would have heard a couple of days ago when you would last run from these golems. You hear like a sound. You see it plunge its not held up hand, making a palm of stopping. You see its hand plunge into between its robes. You hear the ripping of paper, and then it hands something out to you. A small, probably like inch tall or inch wide and 4-inch long slip of paper. It looks very receipt-like. They hand it out towards you, Mira Marchand.
Sure.
It's a CVS receipt.
You look at
Take the
it,
ticket.
and it's printed in like Times New Roman. It reads, "Ye have been summoned by the headmaster."
Oh God.
You know what? We can deal with this when we get back to campus. Why don't you guys go? Mix Golem over here. I am actually also working for the Wildcliff Warbler, and I would love to interview you to get, a very unique Golem perspective on these issues. And I'm like kind of like trying to give my friends like the
All
little
right,
head gesture of like, get out of here while it's
All right,
distracted.
Integrity. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, yeehaw.
Mira, make a persuasion check.
All right, sure. That is a, what is that, a 16? That's a 4 plus 13? That's a, what am I talking about? That's not a 16. I just fucking said a number. I literally had to, that's a 17.
You see it almost go to like reach out towards them as they like scoot away, and then you're like, "I would love to interview you," and the hand kind of retracts, and that neck little gem sitting upon its brass vertebrae turns to you, and a little glint shines in the sun. Windsor Wallaby and Integrity Adderbury, you can scoot off and begin making your ways to presumably like something like the reliquary to see what you can do about checking something out or purchasing something wholesale.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Mira Marchand, this golem stands before you. It crosses its little hands across its non-existent golem tummy and looks at you expectantly.
So do you experience reality as more of a linear start to finish or as sort of a different life form? Do you experience multiple moments simultaneously? I guess I've just always wondered because I don't fully know what the perspective is like to be a golem, and I mean, it's just so terrible that nobody had even sort of questioned or thought to ask other golems about it. Especially because, as a very new type of golem, you probably have a very different perspective as someone like, for example, Ari and Toll. I'm curious both how you experience reality as one and also how you feel about being brought into this world where there are a lot of expectations about who or what you might become, but they're also a very new kind of life that, I haven't necessarily seen before. So how do you feel about that?
I love these expressions that don't happen on the face.
The golem stands, hands crossed across his tummy. You hear like a coming from within. It reaches a tentative hand in and rips it and like looks at it for a second, almost as if questioning its own thoughts. And then it's written down.
Oh my god.
And then
did
we'll
it.
crumple it, and like you hear a more hesitant coming from inside. It rips that one and hands it to you, and it says, in Times New Roman, "I believed my only express purpose was to watch campus, nothing beyond such things. I can't record like the other golems events that I have seen, but it seems that Crow's assistants understand us and our mannerisms. They've affixed us with presses to express words, but nothing more, no other orders."
That's incredibly interesting because, not all golems have, historically been able to speak. Some of them can affix words. I guess I'm just very curious. Do you find watching campus to be something that self-actualizes you? Have you found anything within yourself that makes you truly happy? And how do you feel in general about being created for such an incredibly specific purpose? Do you think that the tools you've been given to navigate life and communication are sufficient for you, or do you yearn for more?
Its hands drop. It looks around. Like, it doesn't have a head on its neck. It's just this little gem, and it, like, very visibly is, like, looking around. It has the posture of someone who is uncomfortable. You then hear, and it rips off, and they hand it out to you with two little hands, and it says, "Will you please come meet with the headmaster if I answer?"
Oh, yes, absolutely.
A wave of relief.
That's a 29 on deception. That's a 60. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Damn.
I mean, it was a 29, but
Do you actually want to lie to this?
yeah, no, I don't.
Oh.
We will meet, just not right now.
The golem looks around, and then you hear, and it rips off a paper and it hands it out to you on the sly, and it says, "I don't really enjoy it that much, and they don't pay us anything."
Oh.
Damn.
That's genuinely atrocious. And look, I just want you to know that you have people here on campus who are fighting for you. I just want you to know that. Thank you so much for this interview. Oh, is there anything else that you would like to say to the readers of the Wildcliff Warbler? Finally, if you would like your identity to be anonymized, well, I guess I was just going to say interview with a golem. Do you have a name that you prefer? Or if not, would you like to be anonymized in this article?
You hear a very happy of printing, and then they rip it off and they hand it to you, and it just has like number sign E3109.
E3109. You got it, Eth.
They stand there happily as Mira, you can run off, having
Distraction
distracted them
successful.
completely.
Excellent.
Integrity and Winsler, Isold and Very. In the meantime, you rush to the reliquary, very quickly having a conversation with a red-robed attendant who looks quite tired, big bags under her eyes, a big cart full of things to redistribute into the locked cells beneath. She waves you in the direction of some bins in the wall. You insert your coins as if a vending machine and retrieve from it an amulet. It is a beaded necklace with this little mirror hanging off of it. When you look in the mirror, you see no reflections of your own selves, and you can acquire an amulet of proof against detection and location easily as that.
Excellent.
And we don't need to pay for it?
Oh,
Well-
you inserted the money next to it as if a vending machine.
So
Yeah,
With
so that-
149 gold pieces.
Oh, I'm sure the budget for the class will cover that, but we should get back to Mira as soon as possible and Serenep.
You two do get some curious looks from some other red-robed researchers and seemingly professors as they eye you up, looking
I'm-
all together.
drawing my hat down a little
With
bit,
you
or
draw your
I'm
hat
like
down
or I'm
across
like
your
sort of like
face.
averting their gaze a little bit.
Of course. They look curious. You hear whispers of, "Are they researchers?" And the person goes, I didn't know students got to use faculty resources like that. And they both everyone looks curiously at you as you both scamper away, hiding your faces.
I
Integrity.
will, though, say, it's really hard that people keep on thinking we're students. I know that our skin looks youthful, but the fact that they think we're students when we've gone through so much of our life doing research and doing wonderful work.
Oh, yes, I know. Let's just leave them at that, and we'll just continue on our way.
Both of you make this, or rather, Integrity, make a deception check with advantage. As Windsor puts on his best old gnome voice.
Ah, yes.
Deception.
Deception, please, and thank you.
That is an 18.
Two researchers standing next to you look immediately, they look like as if they've been given the verbal slap as you talk, and they overhear it after they've talked, spoken in a way such that you can distinctly overhear it. They seem to have been scared of confrontation, and now you have warded them off with the stick of lies as you swat them back. You can rush out of the reliquary, up.
I would just like to add,
Yeah.
before we go, if these researchers would just really want to have the youthful look as us, they should really try and grab the snails from Isithil and collect the serum from them, and then mix it with a bunch of powdered goop from the plain of Lem, like the sand there, and rub it on their face and their skin for youth.
It's a wonderful exfoliant.
Winslow, you begin to walk out with this little beaded necklace mirror. You get to the stairwell, and then you turn around and see Integrity standing right at the precipice of the door, going off about snails, serums, ash from the plain of Isithil, or rather, the plain of Lem. A few researchers look at you over wrinkled faces, baggy eyes, and you can scurry out. Integrity Idleberry, maybe making an effect on the skincare routines of those around you.
They're gonna die.
That is a tale
Isithil
for
stuff
another year.
always tries to kill you, so don't get this.
All right, let's hurry up.
The two of you can scamper up these steep stairs back to the main campus, making your ways to the concourse. Mira, was there ulterior motives here in your arrival?
Honestly, I wanted to help out my friends, but I do genuinely want to keep the Warbler stuff running. So I think if I had time, I think the main thing I would try to do is just deliver the contents of my interview over to Syndra or anyone else who's doing the reporting. Possibly remind me, the paranormal investigator.
Oh, Runa.
Runa or Syndra or somebody,
By all
just
means.
to make sure that operations are smooth.
Yes, absolutely. A dark-skinned member of the Alf, I believe, member of the Warbler, Arlie, will take down your notes, nodding sagely, putting them into the back of a very large tome with a horrific-looking abyssal script sketched upon the cover. He nods slowly, wisely, taking on all of your things and looking at you over the tip of his nose, but not saying anything more. No prompting, nothing of the like.
Okay, absolutely. I'm just giving him the rundown, okay, we don't want this to seem like an expose quite yet because we don't want to alert Crow to what exactly we're doing. We just, we make it seem like it's...
You see him writing in the book, and you see him pause when you say that, and his eyes go wide for a second, and you see him start to open his mouth, but then he decides not. He goes, yeah, what else do you have? And you see him make a couple of typos as he tries to catch up, and he just seems to be quite nervous, his hands shaking a little bit.
Is he good? Can I insight? Did Crow speak to him, or is there
By all
some sort
means,
of
make an insight check.
I don't feel very insightful today. That's a 9 plus 4. That's a 13.
He's definitely nervous, which not necessarily a quality you'd associate from your few interactions, or maybe at this point a couple more interactions with Arlie. Not really a nervous person, more even keeled. Why he might be nervous, you cannot tell.
Hey, are you good?
He looks up at you. He's wearing a hat with a yellow tassel. He'll kind of take it off and set it down on the table and kind of fold his hands and lean into you, and we'll say, Headmaster Crow stopped by yesterday afternoon.
Oh shit.
I don't know if Syndra told you yet, but there was some choice words about taking further control of the things that we were printing. So I don't know
I
if he'll
see.
take kindly to us printing something, an expose
see.
about his golems. That he's-
Okay. That's bad, but it's also, if he thinks he can use the club, then the club gets to keep meeting, which is good for, the actual ulterior motive stuff. Okay. Shit. Frame it like a puff piece, like, oh, it's so cool that we spoke to a golem. Hopefully that'll still get people's minds thinking a little bit, and, if Crow doesn't like it, we'll change it if we have to. That lets us keep meeting so we can do something bigger. Does that work?
Yeah, it's going to have to, I guess. You're the one in charge. And you see him start to take notes. He makes like a bunch of typos and he swears a bit under his breath. And you can watch over him for some time if you would like to.
Yeah, I am trying to get back to my friends, so
Of
I think
course. Okay.
I think I am breezing through this a little bit more quickly than might be like the nicest thing to like comfort a friend, because I'm a little bit
Yeah.
preoccupied,
Yeah,
but I'm like, okay,
absolutely.
cool, that sounds good. Let me know if anything comes up. I'll be back onto campus soon. Contact me if you need. Okay, good luck, Arlie. You got this. Bye.
He puts a calm hand up to say goodbye to you as you rush out the door, slam it behind you, run down the stairs of the enchantment tower, huffing puffing, run across the campus, making your way towards the concourse and back to Artis's cottage, Mira Marchand. You rush along these roads and rush around the corner of, let's say, the Divination Building, a small building close to the concourse, and bump headlong into a familiar face, one wearing all black, seemingly a dress and leggings underneath with dark black boots. She has a hat on which it resembles, it's kind of like pointed, it almost looks something a very modern looking piece, almost like an arrowhead. It seems to be pointed forwards. Her hair is swept back in a bun underneath the back of it. You see your own girlfriend, one might say, Delnis Rather, and she bumps into you very forcefully, Mira, and then will grab you by the shoulders and like continue pushing you forwards until she
shit,
like
hey,
pushes you
let's-
against the wall and kind of holds you there for a second. And her eyes look, as soon as she sees you, incredibly like alarmed, and she's gonna hold you by the shoulders and say,
Hey.
"Where were you? Where did you
they
go?"
They tried to take Sereneth. We were rescuing her. What happened? Everyone's being weird.
After the stuff at the chapel, and I didn't hear anything from you for the rest of the night. Crow and some human guy came by, spoke to my father, spoke to me, asked about you and where you'd gone to, asking
fuck.
questions about the Lady of the Woods as well.
Oh.
Shit. Okay. I am so sorry that they bothered you like that.
What happened? What went? Did something go wrong? Did something happen?
They took Sereneth. We had to go rescue her. I get why, if Crow is like with all of the Ashua stuff, that's probably what they were going for, is they were trying to figure out me so that they could figure out Sereneth. Shit. I probably should get back to. I'm at. Do you want me to tell you in case they do some sort of like?
No.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I do,
Yes, okay.
but don't.
Okay. I am at the place where we went when Nesca was attacking, and when I first told you that I liked you. I actually don't know if that actually helps against any sort of spells. I realized that I was just giving you like weird
That's-
riddles for no reason.
Yeah, that's just one place. Okay.
Yeah.
She
okay.
lessens her grip around your shoulders and kind of like puts her head down. Are you guys safe?
Yeah. We can handle ourselves, and we figure we just need to lie low for a couple days, but I don't know. Now I'm just sort of thinking, all things considered, maybe we should just face this head on. I don't know.
She putters out a breath, Mira, and will kind of like, she puts her head down and almost like leans it on your chest, and almost like exhausted expression. And she will just say very quietly, like, this feels really dangerous.
Yeah.
With people getting taken, and it's just bigger than students at a school, and I don't trust Crow whatsoever with this.
I don't trust him either. Hey, do you want to get out of here? I mean, you could come with us. We could take a few days so that you don't have to worry about a fucking Crow showing up. And
I mean, he probably won't bother me at this point, Mira.
Yeah,
He already tried
yeah.
to figure out everything.
Okay. I'm really sorry. I don't like my presence in your life putting you in so much shit. I'm really sorry.
She breathes and says, yeah, well, I've agreed to it at this point. It's a package deal.
Well, I'm flattered, but also, look, you've been on campus when we haven't. Honest to God, do you think we should come back and just get this over with?
This confront
Like,
Crow?
whatever Crow wants with us, you know?
She squints as if thinking hard and almost seemingly, before she even says anything, regretting what she's going to say, Mira, and she says, yes, I think that if you try to dance circles around him or avoid him, it'll just end up worse in the long run. I feel like
Yeah.
we can't outmaneuver him, but maybe you could talk him down or convince him or something of the sort.
Something.
But trying to avoid him, he's just going to lean heavier on any amount of power he can, trying to find you all.
You're right. Okay, after all this, I'm gonna talk to the others about it. Hey, I missed you.
She does proverbially melt slightly. Her expression softens slightly. She just says, I really missed you too. I'm glad that you're safe at the very least.
Likewise. And I'm going to just very gently, because she's kind of leaning her head, just kiss Stillness on the top of the head, stay there for, a few moments, just kind of hugging her in a comforting way. And then I'm going to straighten up a little bit and say, I got to get back to my friends, but it's good to see you.
I wish we could see more of each other.
Well, we will soon. Provided we don't get, I don't know, turned into gold coins or something at Crow's.
You laugh, Mira, and your girlfriend's expression only sours as she looks to you in fear, one might say. But with that, you can straighten, release from an embrace, and make your way quickly back to the concourse where your two colleagues, Confederates, have been loitering, trying to be very discreet. Crows, not the person, but the birds and blackbirds gather around on rooftops and squawk at you, Integrity, happily, seeming to celebrate your presence back on campus. And Mira Marchand, you can return quickly. You have momentary words with the small gnome guarding the concourse box, who lets you pass without any real problems. Sarah Cinderman, after what it probably feels like an eternity, but what in reality was probably at most an hour, you hear a quick whoosh from the front door, and your three good friends walk back in and return to you.
Oh,
Hey.
we did it. It was actually
Winslow.
quite simple.
Did everything go okay? You guys good?
Everything seems to be okay. Here you go.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I'm going to hand Serenepth the pendant.
Winslow, you scurry over, its necklace in hand it to you, Sarah. Sarah, you look at it, a beaded necklace, a big mirror on the front. You do not see a reflection, and you think to yourself, fuck, am I a vampire? And then it passes. It was a weird, intrusive thought. You can slam it over your neck, and you feel a stillness go about your ears.
Should we try it?
Do you want to try it?
Like maybe.
I mean, Mira, do you still have my scrying? Yeah, like the what Integrity said.
Yeah,
scrying?
I can give it a shot.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Sure, I will attempt to cast Scrying on Serenepth.
Of course.
Scry me up.
Mira Marchand. Is there a description of what happens when scrying fizzles, or it just doesn't work?
Just-
I like to imagine that because it almost starts to coalesce around a visual of what Serenepth looked like last time
Yes.
I tried the scrying, and then it seems like it's almost like when a TV is frozen, like I'm trying to push on it, but then it just goes out completely because
Wonderful.
it works.
Nice.
Great pendant, really brings out the invisibility in your eyes.
Oh my gosh. And I've been thinking, while I can't really turn myself into another person, I can kind of maybe try prestidigitation to change my hair color because it's really green or something along those lines to help, when we go back to Wildcliff, make me less noticeable.
Ooh, what are you thinking?
I was thinking maybe like, I don't know, would it be better to go with another wild color, or would it be better to go with like as like bland of a color as possible, like to fit into the background so perfectly?
What if we shave your head?
I feel like she could pull it off. I feel like it would look good on her.
Are my eyebrows like we talked about this a long time ago? When my hair turned green, are my eyebrows also green?
Let's do 50-50. I don't know.
Sure.
Syrup Cinnamon? You
Yeah.
got green eyebrows.
Damn.
So you can go for a cue ball look and just shave them off too.
I mean,
Can't we
okay.
just dye the eyebrows?
That's
Okay, but then why wouldn't we just dye the hair? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Okay, hear
We
me
can
out.
bleach it white.
We could bleach it.
Listen, nobody's going to be looking for someone with a buzz cut. That's all I'm saying.
true. No one pays attention to buzz cuts. Sarah, you can assess your hair situation, coming to some sort of solution that we can describe in only moments. In the meantime, as Serenep, in a way which evades narration, deals with her hair, was there anything, other elements the lot of you wanted to bring to debrief with?
Okay, so now that we have this necklace that protects them from detecting Serenep, are we still gonna go with the plan of coming back in 2 days?
Well, I was on campus, and honestly, part of me thinks it should maybe be sooner. Crow is looking for us. Really wants to see us. I guess knows that we left, knows that we're on campus. He has been coming after Delness, after like Arlie even in the club, and I think that if we keep trying to push this off, it's just going to get worse for the people around us, and it's going to get worse when we do have that meeting. I wonder if we should talk, figure out what we're going to say to him, if this is about Serenep, and just go, honestly. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking that if we want to protect Serenep, like, yes, like, let's bring her back to campus eventually, but maybe let's see what he wants first before we even bring Serenep, like, forward. Maybe we can be like, we did go look for her.
So the three of us go without her and meet.
Yeah, just because I don't know what Crow's intentions are. He was, like, what do you call that? That they outmaneuvered him. I don't know if he succumbed to the power of like the royals, or if he's still working on his own. Frankly, it's hard for me to trust anyone. I don't want to just give Serenep up to anyone like the first powerful person to offer.
I mean, we'd also be there to protect her, right?
That's true.
Something went wrong.
Yes.
I mean, I can totally envision a scenario where, we decide to meet without Serenep, and then they come in and grab Serenep, who's just, like, on her own here, Maybe
That's
doing
true.
this straight up is better. But I agree with you, Integrity. I don't trust Crow, and I don't think anything he offers is going to be good. But maybe we can just convince him that it's in his best interests to let her stay here and leave us be,
That will take
What do
a
you
lot
want,
of
Serenep?
convincing.
I mean, I don't want to make any decisions for you.
I think at this point, my home has too much influence that it's probably not safe to just lay low in one spot and think that it's going to be fine. I think that, obviously, I gestured to the pendant that I'm now wearing.
Yes.
And I say, obviously, we've taken some steps to make sure we're safe. And I'm just hoping that once this is taken care of, however it ends up going, that we can at least take care of everything else that needs to get taken care of.
What if we put you in a luggage and then we walk to Crow, just the three of us, but you're in the luggage, and then we try to see what his intentions are, and then we open the luggage and are like, ta-da, Serenep's here!
Luggage.
We actually found her!
Wow!
We didn't know she was in there.
We just carried around.
That was supposed to be closed. We'll bring you coconuts from the aisles.
I mean, what aisles? We didn't go to any aisles with coconuts on them.
So, you all have this conversation. I'm, as a prompt, don't feel forced if it's not something you'd like to do. But Mira Marchand, as night descends and you all kind of take your moments of space and alone time from one another, the summer heat pervasive in this shack of a home, bugs buzzing outside, threatening at the beeline, a weird little overgrown garden at this point of natural veg and such things you can see out the back doors. Mira Marchand, you have a small crystal ball, which I believe is a direct line to a powerful and influential person. Is there anything on that regard that you would like to do before moving forwards with direct assault on Crow?
Yeah, I did want to speak to Algrim, but I also didn't want to like do too many solo scenes. But I do think I do think that Mira would want to contact
Garner
her.
favor with the Lady of the Woods.
Yes.
Mira Marchand, set the scene for us of how you contact her then.
I think that Mira is trying to be in like the quietest place she knows, which is like up in that like loft in Argus's place. She's like kind of tried to like hang the blanket up on the wall to create a little private nook, and also so that there's so little light in here that exactly so that I can't immediately like discern where she is if that matters, and just make a little recording booth, and I think she will speak the password and try to give her a call.
By all means, you speak the words Sayantha. It's probably after 10 p.m. here. The glow from inside, those little golden flecks begin to glow brightly, casting you in a yellow haze. You hold your breath for 2 seconds, and then you hear a voice that goes, "1 moment!" From off screen. You hear stomping, it seems like, and see a very haggard-looking Alla Algrim. Her hair pulled back almost behind her head, and her face looking to be quite ancient in this moment. Her golden eyes pierce through the orbits or the sphere itself, almost like boring through your head, and she'll say, "Good evening, Mira Marchand.
Hello.
What report have you for me?"
Well, I can tell you that they, the Oshawan Royals had essentially a secret location that they would use to alter the feelings and inclinations of more or less anyone who they believed it would benefit them to do so to, including the prince, I believe. They did it to Philip Maisel and Serenep Cinderman. It seems as though, however, they were not successful. I don't know where Philip is now, but Serenep is here with us. She has managed to return to us.
Fascinating. And this bewitching, is it still affecting her?
No, it's not. I believe it was using channeling the powers of some sort of lighthouse. You may know more about the magic underlying it than I do, but it's been neutralized.
Her face sours and she goes, "Neutralized? What do you mean by that?"
Well, I don't fully understand all of it, but Serenep is not under any sort of enchantment. The good news is that it seems like a simple dispel magic spell got rid of it, and I'm not to understand that anyone else remains under its charms either. Although I wouldn't be able to speak for someone like the prince. I don't know.
We could send someone and deal with such things if what you say about dispelling it is true. The island itself, where is it? Where might I... Sorry to show my hand to you, but where would it be possible to find?
Of course. And I would, relay the geographical information to the best of my knowledge.
Of course. Do you convey anything about it having sunk?
I guess I would say something to the effect of like, Serenep had said something about a flood. So I don't know in what form you'll find the island, but if there's anything to be discovered, it will be, here.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, that is quite deceptive.
Island's underwater, lady.
Whoopsie daisy.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Well, the total is a 14
Oh.
of a base roll of 1.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Fuck.
Mira, no.
She
Yeah.
does not like that.
Pierce you. The brow furrows into an
Yeah.
angry expression, and she goes, Ward of Wildcliff, Steward of Wildcliff, you were given a simple task, and I've asked you a simple question. You seem to be evasive around this subject. Something of a flood.
The island sank. It's not in commission anymore. They can no longer use this weapon to control their assets.
She has like a expression of her face of discontent, of kind of ruined aspirations you might be able to glean, Mira Marchand. She will say, the island is gone now. We'll send a vessel to see what else we can find. I think you've given enough information that, provided something is still there, we might be able to find it, a remnant.
Yes.
A more useful tool at this point, though, or actionable item, Steward,
Understandable. If
is
something like this.
You say the Crown Prince was under the effect of this lighthouse.
Yes, he was.
Do you know any others in the courts?
Originally, there was Philip Maisel and obviously Sereneth, but neither of them are affected anymore. However, if I imagine that if you were able to somehow, speak to the prince and get him in some sort of contact. There was also someone called Rhaegar. They were some sort of sailor of some kind. I think they might have been affected as well. Only got a first name, but if you're able to find a Rhaegar sailor bounty hunter of some sort, you might have some luck with them.
The bounty hunter doesn't interest me greatly. That's not a very powerful tool. Steward. She says with vitriol, the steward, dropping the Mira now and all pretenses of such things. She'll say, very well, we'll have an agent within arrows. Make contact with the prince. And as you instruct, try to dispel whatever clouds him.
Of course. It also appears that Headmaster Crow wishes to meet with us, all of us. I don't...
Yes, made quite a splash. There was a professor, researcher, I don't know what her role is, who made quite a fuss at your missing. Raised the attention to Crow very quickly. He brought the issue to us as a council and...
Right.
Oh, dear.
Was quite concerned about the nature of your disappearance, Steward, and what it might portend for my own actions.
I see. Well, I'm more than happy to invent. There are many reasons that we could have come into contact with what happened, regardless of your involvement. I mean, Philip was acting distrustful in and of itself. That would have been more than enough reason for us to use the spell that we used to scry on him and find Sereneth. I'm more than happy to paint a picture of what happened, which does not depict you.
Good, as you should. It goes without saying.
Of course. Is there anything else you think, so that I might best help you, that we might have to expect from this meeting?
What to expect from it? Now, that is a mystery to me, what Crow's own machinations are. I feel as though he's on the back foot and trying to grasp for whatever straws he still can reach. A sad state to see him in after all his plotting over the years. But no warnings of what he might be doing, just that he might take risks untoward. 2 matters to discuss with you yet, Steward. One, as I promised, payment of your job well done previously and job half done at this point. My agent has made contact with your former or current, whatever the relationship is confusing to me, mentor, artisan off in the desert.
Oh.
I often find disenchanted and disavowed folk to be useful tools in my service. And she says that very much glaring towards you, Mira.
Yeah.
But that's no matter. Perhaps she'll keep him alive longer than he would ever survive out there in the wilds. A last matter. I'd been communing with some of the other stewards, and we had a great curiosity. We wanted to push in your direction.
Of course.
The gnome.
Winsler.
Yes.
What about him?
One of my stewards suggests to me that the blood of those who have returned might possess of itself certain properties we would like to have in high regard here.
Excuse me?
I see. Get some blood.
Yes, a quart or so would do.
A quart of blood, of course. Alternatively, if you want different blood from a witch who returned, I could also probably provide that for you. If her body is still around, that might be even more appealing, maybe.
By what chance, who do you speak of in that case, steward? I would love the lead on both cases nonetheless. We can't have too much of these things, natural resources as they are in the modern world.
Plain of Isithil, name of Ferdinand, went to hell, came back, currently deceased. That might be something worth pursuing. Maybe even, more important.
You see her reach over and seem to jot something down. She goes, I will have someone else look into it in that case. But the gnome's blood, please.
Of course.
You could ask politely. I do concede.
I'll speak to my friend Winsler and see what he thinks about
You'll speak
the
to
acquisition
the gnome
of his
on my
blood.
payroll and see about giving me materials of his own that I could rightfully harvest through other means. Steward.
Of course.
Is that all?
Everything from me.
Very well. Have this crystal ball smashed at the nearest convenience. I don't want someone else getting a hold of it now that this matter has been drawn to a comma, not a close.
Of course. It'll be destroyed with great fervor.
She stares at you, and then the ball grows dim, and you are left surrounded by a stuffy blanket sitting up on the top of the loft in darkness. Mira Marchand.
Yeah, Mira's gonna frustratedly chuck the thing against the wall.
It smashes into a bunch of little tiny shards.
Yeah.
The gold flakes paint the wall, almost like gusher blowing up.
Are you okay? I heard something break.
What was that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
All right. that
Hey,
was just-
Winsler, how much blood do you think you have in your body?
What do you mean? How much blood do I have in my body?
You know, like if we were measuring it in like milliliters, like how much blood do you think you have?
I don't know. I'm not very big. I probably don't have that much in me.
You super don't. And Mira's going to like flop down onto the bed, exasperated.
Yeah, like what is a quart compared to a gnome?
Right?
Very good
We
question.
could probably find out if we measured how heavy Winsler is, because I believe the meat of an individual weighs about, honestly, I don't know. Maybe if we tried to cut like a piece of something.
I don't
And
like
then
where
try
this
to
conversation
measure.
is going.
And
Why do
then-
you need my
and then-
blood? Why do you need my blood?
And then we measure how long Winsler is and how wide Winsler is. Maybe we can come to a conclusion with how much blood he has inside of him.
From the disparate sections of Artis's house as you yell at each other from afar about the necessary butchering possibilities of your friend and the allometric scaling of gnomes, we will draw this episode to a close. Carla, could you please give us an outro?
No, we can't. Well, don't worry, everyone. We're not going to cut Winsler up to pieces, but we only won't cut it if you give us a rating.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. Hope that you all enjoyed that episode of Trials and Trebuchets. Don't forget to leave a rating or a review on our iTunes or wherever you listen to this podcast, It truly matters a lot to us, because like we don't spread our seeds to the world.
We don't advertise our podcast.
We don't advertise.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't want to leave a rating or review because you're hiding from people, you can also share us to your friends and
Tell
be like Trials and
friends.
Trebuchets. Hey,
Listen. Go
sounds like
listen.
pretty cool, eh? We also have an Instagram at Trials and Trebs where you can give us a follow and you can see teasers, you can see art, you can be reminded that an episode is out, and not only that, but we also have a Discord server.
Yes.
Where you can connect with a bunch of people who also likes the show. And maybe some of them don't like the show, but they like socializing. So give that a join. The link is down below.
Yes, it is.
And I believe it's also on our Instagram if you end
From
up
ages
there.
ago. Just go to the description of the podcast. It'll be so much easier for you.
Yeah, you're
right
here
there.
anyways. And last but not the least, we also take monetary support if you don't. I'm sorry. I did not know how to segue to that. And you can do that in two different ways.
can.
One way is through Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon. Patreon.com/trials and
and
trebs, where you can join and get notes and get bloopers, and you can even potentially create a character if you pay
Patreon
enough
NPC.
money.
Runa
pay
didn't show up
enough.
in this episode, but she was name dropped. Arlie Billiam Way is a wonderful patron NPC. Yeah, there are many others scattered amongst
Exactly.
the ashes of this campaign.
We love them all. We love them all. And the second thing
Yes.
that we can get money from you is
Uh-huh.
through our merch store.
Merch store. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, it's the first time
And
hearing.
guess what the freaking website is?
What? It's trialsandtrebuchets.com.
I bet you
Well,
something
yes,
with merch.
but it's also
Trebmerch.com.
trebmerch.com, where you get stickers, shirts, and if you beg enough times, then maybe more stuff.
If you beg enough.
Until next time, folks, have yourself a coconut, relax a little, and see you next week.
Have yourself a coconut, drink it, not smash it on your head. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.